Hi everyone, my name is Becca Stoddard, and my organization report is on Spectrum Health. Spectrum Health is a not-for-profit integrated health system with an award-winning health plan, teams of nationally recognized doctors and providers, and a network of hospitals and care facilities spanning 13 counties throughout West Michigan, and is one of the nation's top 15 health systems. Spectrum Health is a $5 billion enterprise that employs 25,400 people. There are 6,800 employees at Priority Health, 1,600 providers, and then 2,300 volunteers. All in all, this is making it West Michigan's largest employer. Their corporate offices are located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, yet their services cover the entire state. Spectrum Health's vision is to be the national leader of health by 2020, and their mission is to improve the health of the communities that they serve. Our textbook tells us that values represent basic convictions, that a specific mode of conduct or end state of existence is personally or socially preferable to an opposite or converse mode of conduct or end of state existence. Spectrum Health began with a desire to ease human suffering, and in order to do so, it chose 6 values to help guide them. The guiding values of Spectrum Health are excellence, accountability, compassion, integrity, respect, and teamwork. Each and every day I am at work, I see these values come to life, and that is a huge part of why I have been an employee of Spectrum Health for 15 years. Another reason why is because of the culture of Spectrum Health. The culture of Spectrum Health is continually changing and growing with the times. Just recently, it was announced that since we've had such huge growth in the past couple of years, we're now going to slow that down and focus solely on our infrastructure. Our culture has been somewhat negatively impacted by the fact that we have grown very quickly. Everything seemed very fast-paced, and staff and providers have not felt very supported because operations was always working on the next project or acquisition. We have integrated multiple hospitals and privately owned physicians' offices, and therefore, joining their different cultures together has been somewhat of a difficult process as well. I would be amiss if I did not mention that by working in operations, I felt the growing pains and difficulties bringing these providers and staff to work together under the Spectrum Health umbrella. Transition and acceptance of Spectrum Health's values and culture has as well been negatively impacted because people don't want to give up their private practice mentality. However, I would not have worked at Spectrum Health for as long as I have if it were not for the positives of the system. And trust me, there are a lot of positives. Even though integrations and acquisitions are difficult, the rest of our culture embodies our values through personal growth, innovation, safety, and quality. The leadership style of Spectrum Health is a bit impossible to pinpoint just because there are so many different offices, hospitals, specialties, and departments. Recently, our executive leadership team has streamlined so that the medical group and the hospital group don't have the same positions for each for each division. We now have one chief operating officer and an executive vice president. After seeing all of this and reading our textbook, I have determined that Spectrum Health has more transformational leaders than anything else. We lead through influence, through motivation, inspiration, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. Each year, twice a year, our leaders get together at DeVos Place for their leadership conference. This is where managers learn of new and upcoming innovations, new systems such as our computer systems, new ideas, and kind of where we're at. It's an update for all leaders, and it inspires everyone and reminds everyone of what we're working on. The employee behavior is somewhat different at Spectrum Health as well. When I started at Spectrum Health as a medical assistant back in 2003, I worked in many different roles before I became a supervisor and then was promoted to an ops specialist. I can say that the behaviors of the organization vary based on the level or the role of the employee. I experienced firsthand the way that the frontline employees, such as the medical assistant or administrative assistant, feel as though they do not matter as much as the higher level employees. They do not feel like their voice is heard, so they don't want to speak up. They are shift workers that come in and work their 8 hours, producing so-so work, and often feel unhappy and complain to others quite often. Their behavior can directly impact the morale and culture around the office. On the other hand, though, there are many frontline employees that feel that their voice is heard and they want it to be heard, and they speak up and end up playing a key role in the organization. They come to work every day and go above and beyond because they are there to positively impact the lives of our patients. These are the type of employees that are high performers that will eventually want to move up within the organization, and Spectrum Health does a pretty good job at keeping their in-house talent and having them grow and get ready for the next step. We also have physician and executive leaders at Spectrum Health. They prefer to have their input from the frontline staff, and they usually are the ones that are the decision makers for the office. I personally work for Spectrum Health Medical Group, not the hospital group. So the first org chart that I have here is for the whole entire system. Because the system is comprised of the medical group, the hospital group, and the insurance group, there are 3 different org charts. This one that I'm showing you is the executive leadership for all of the medical group. So as you can see, we have the president, and then we have the COO, vice presidents, chief medical officer, general counsel, and so on and so forth. And then everyone else filters down below that. And here's an example of the service line for which I work for, Digestive Health, and here's our org chart. Our company is made up of dyads, which is an executive leader and a physician leader that make the decisions together. So as you'll see here, Dr. Harrison is our department chief, and his dyad is Brad Crawford, who's the VP. And then if you go lower down, you can see that Dr. Lechtefeld is the division chief, and then Christina is the director of operations, and those 2 are the dyads. Spectrum Health has been focused on community outreach, and quality has been successful in each. They are also focused on providing affordable care for all patients, no matter their status. For example, we have multiple regional locations for patients to visit, rather than needing to come into Grand Rapids for their care. We opened an endoscopy center in Muskegon that does not charge the patient facility fees, in turn making it the cheapest endoscopy suite on the west side of the state. We also offer telehealth to all our patients. Very quickly, the way the providers get paid is also going to change, and we are trying to get ahead of that curve by changing the physician's compensation model to reflect that. Currently, they get paid for quantity, and in the very near future, they'll be paid on their quality outcomes. Spectrum Health is still a business after all, and they do need to continue to make money. So looking at compensation model as well as regional outreach and other programs helps ensure that we can still make money and provide the best care for our patients. Behaviors that contribute to the success of Spectrum Health are continuously wanting to improve. We always focus on patients and their families. We always want quality over quantity. We stress innovation. We stress ethical behaviors. Spectrum Health's vision is to be the leader in healthcare by 2020. And the amount of work that has been done in the past 5 years to get us to this goal has happened quickly and significantly. We have been, very proudly, serving our community for the past 20 years, and we were recently named a top 15 health system. The leaders from the top all the way down to the frontline staff have shown behaviors and values that align with where they want to be, and that is why we are in the position we are in right now. I am fortunate to have worked for this company that cares more about caring for the patients in our community and have been seeing firsthand what it has done to get us to be the nation's leader in healthcare.